Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cure for the Common Gain. Today, in deck number 447, we are going to talk about Drakuseth, the Maw Flames. Probably better known as Saffron Olive. No. 7 mana, 7/7. It's kind of in line with Villas there, but flying. Now, this is a wacky line of text. When it attacks, it deals 4 damage to any target and 3 damage to up to 2 other targets. So whoever it's attacking, first off, this is an attack trigger. So as soon as you declare attacker, it's going to deal 4/3/3, which my math tells me is 10 damage. Wow. And then, combat damage for 7. So the very first thing that we all thought of, I know I did, was gratuitous violence to double all that damage. Why not? Now, granted, his ability damage is not combat damage, so that does not count as commander damage. So, but since I am running gratuitous violence, I'm also running Furnace of Wrath. And yeah, Furnace of Wrath is super tricky, but you know what? I have a feeling that we're going to be dealing more damage than anyone else at the table. And you know what? We're playing mono red. If I die to my own Furnace of Wrath, it's kind of fitting, flavor-wise. But anyway, I am really, really excited about this mono red deck. But Drakuseth does cost a ton of mana, so we are going to need some mana acceleration, obviously. We got a Soul Ring, Ruby Medallion, Heart of Ramos, Gilded Lotus, Mana Prism, Mana Lith, Guardian Idol. I like the Dragon Horde. Really, yeah, he's it, but flavorful it kind of matters. Pyretic Ritual. If you've never resolved a Mana Geyser, you have no idea what you're missing. This thing is insane. Yes, it's 5 mana, but you want it to be 5 mana. You want this to be 5 mana because that late in the game, if all your opponents have 5 in their oh, it's so good. And then just a good old-fashioned mana flare. Now, well, let's get to the weird stuff. We'll do weird stuff first because I don't know that we have a whole lot of creatures. Overblaze, good call, I feel. It's more or less a one-shot gratuitous. You can overblaze and, we're not really splicing. Horn of Greed is kind of some card draw for us. I mean, it's card draw for anybody, but the only rest of the card draw we have are like looting style effects like the Voice, Faithless, and Wild Guess. So, now, Soul's Fire is pretty neat. Damage equal to, because the creature deals the damage, therefore it'll get doubled by gratuitous violence. But, mono red, Claws of Valakut, and Granite Grip. Why not, right? Now, Leyline of Punishment is going to keep people from gaining life. But let's check this bad boy out. Yeah, right? Because Drakuseth is the one that is actually dealing the damage. And of course it's going to have Infect. So that's going to pass out 4, 3, and 3. And then 7 combat. That's a potential one-shot somebody. It really is. Circle of Flame. Yeah, Circle of Flame. It's just going to deal 1 damage, probably double to 2, and that's fine. Let's see what else. Speaking of damage and removal, I felt like this was, since we're already playing the damage doublers and the mana doubler, so let's actually play with some cards we don't normally play with, right? I don't run Bolt enough. Yeah, I know in our format it's very limited because a lot of your creatures are really huge. And 3 damage to a 40 life total is not that much, but it's still an amazing card. And in this deck, I feel like we want to get as much damage in as possible. So, I mean, I run the Bolt, Incinerate, Lightning Strike, Fry, Shock, and Char. Be careful with Char, though, because if it doubles, it doubles the damage to you, too. And then we've got just cross-the-board damage. Pyroclasm. I guess this would be, the removal section, if you would. Decree of Annihilation, Blasphemous Act, Chain Reaction, Hour of Devastation, Shivan Meteor. Shivan Meteor is pretty cool. Pyrohemia. That's really cool, too. Those work absolutely wonderful with our Stuffy Doll. I think Stuffy Doll may be our only creature in the deck, because that was kind of one of the rules I wanted to use, was no creatures. But Stuffy Doll is only a creature in the most technical sense of the term. You know what I'm saying? It is just, it's a win condition for no other, we have Ether Flash to deal 2 damage as creatures come in. Flame Sweep. Detonate to blow up artifacts. Earthquake, dealing damage to everybody. Inferno. That's right, I'm playing Inferno. So, that's a whole lot of creatures dying. So, kind of want to run a Dingus Staff. That was one of the early picks that kind of sculpted me to no creatures. Now, and the fact that I was blowing up creatures, just, fighting fire with fire, because of course you should fight fire with fire. You should fight everything with fire, right? Mana Barbs. Yeah, especially with damage doublers. Mana Barbs, yeah, it does kind of put a target on you, but it speeds up a game now. I mean, gotta have a fireball, right? So, we'll get to the lands. I'm not exactly done. Rogue's Passage, of course, you gotta have that for a commander that you want to attack. These 3 cycling lands. And Valakut, because, seems good with mono red with lots of... So that's where I was at, and I was like, you know what? I need more. I need more reliable damage dealing. Something that's just not... spending a spell and doing its thing and going away. And I pulled this beauty. Right? Chandra Awakened Inferno, and I got it in foil. That's just sick. Anyway. The +2 to just pass out emblems, that seems really, really good. Which, by the way, prediction time, and I know we're, technically only 3 days into the launch, even though it feels like 3 weeks or whatever. But I feel like that emblem is going to be probably more sought out than the others, because, let's face it, we're all going to want multiple copies. I mean, I'm going to want at least, 6 or 7, because normally that's how many opponents I have, and then the multiples, I'm just going to, put dice on it, or I guess a lot of people will just have the one and put it kind of out in the center of the table and just roll dice up on it that way, but I don't know. I find the aesthetics of just literally passing out an emblem to everybody, that may draw a target on my head, but it seems fun. So I was like, well, if I'm going there, that rare Chandra that just puts a loyalty counter on each red planeswalker, and then I went, you know what? Red planeswalkers deal damage. So that's when I went full hog with the planeswalkers. And, since we're mono red and we care about damage, it's Chandra. And according to Wizards, it's, hey, we heard you like Chandra, so we gave you more Chandra, so you could Chandra even harder when you Chandra. Chandra's Regulator. I mean, we're playing just 1,000 Chandras, so why not? And that filtering ability, discard a mountain or a red card to draw a card. There are times when we need to do that. And since we're already in red and, hardcore walker, if I had had another Chain Veil, I would have given Chandra the Chain Veil. And you don't know how scary that is. Not from a gameplay perspective, but from a Vorthos perspective. Giving Chandra the Chain Veil, the one that can't control her emotions. Yeah, this is a great idea, Brian. Tybalt, just for another instance of your opponent can't gain life. And then Sarkhan the Masterless, because why not turn all your Chandras into damage? Chandra's Triumph, Chandra's Outrage, and our last card is Oath of Chandra. I just thought of something. How do you pronounce it? Is it Chandra or Chandra? I have heard both. If I'm not mistaken, I have heard the Wizards of the Coast people say Chandra, and that's where I kind of got it from. Is Chandra in our... Yeah, she's over to the side somewhere. There she is. But, I don't know, that's why just one of those, I'm real curious, I guess that's a tomato thing. So, that is Drakuseth, and we will go put Drakuseth on the wall. Oh! No. Velcro stuck to chair. So, and there we are. We have got Drakuseth done. Still crazy listing decks on Architect. I've got 98 listed now, so just did a chroma and all that jazz. So I do appreciate y'all watching. Y'all let me know what you think. But right now, yeah, we're going to shuffle and cut.